Hello from Seoul? Yeah, there are a lot of different types of Korean barbecue out there. But if I had to pick just one, I'll definitely pick this one. Trust me, a lot of Koreans will totally agree with that. Today, we're gonna be making LA Kalbi, one of the greatest Korean barbecue dishes of all time. It's sweet, savory, and unbelievably tender. Honestly, I've never seen anyone who could say no to this bad boy. So before summer slips away, please give this a try. Once you take a bite, you will know who the king of Korean barbecue is. For this, you will need short ribs, Korean pear, apple, kiwi, onion, green onions, garlic, and ginger. What? Too many ingredients? But once you take a bite, you will totally understand why all of these are necessary. Because it's too delicious. So let's put in a little bit of love and effort. Trust me, it'll be totally worth it. Alright, let's start with the short ribs. Today, we're gonna be using flankencut, also known as LA Galbi. But if you can't find this bad boy, you can totally use other cuts you like. You can even go with pork ribs, Boston butt, or even chicken breast. Seriously, our magical Kalbi marinade will beautifully work with almost any cut of meat. But if you really want to experience the beauty of Korean Galbi, I highly recommend using this flankencut. Alright, let's rinse our short ribs under cold water. Why? Because when butchers cut through the bones, tiny bone fragments often tend to stick to the meat. So if you don't wash those off properly, you might end up seeing your dentist instead of enjoying your barbecue party. So rinse them thoroughly. I warned you. If you don't take my advice and end up with a dental bill that costs hundreds of dollars, I'm totally not responsible. Once they are nice and clean, pat them dry with paper towels and set them aside. Now let's move on to the most important part, the marinade. When it comes to Korean Galbi, the real secret is this Korean pear. That pleasant sweetness, it mostly comes from here. But if you don't live near a Korean grocery store, it might be quite hard to get this. What? You have a regular pears? Unfortunately, they won't give you the same result. So if you really can't find this Korean pear, I recommend using an apple instead. Don't worry about it, it will still be delicious. And the kiwi is mainly used to help tenderize the meat. But if you really don't feel like going out just for this bad boy, then you can skip it. Now to a blender, add half a Korean pear, half a red apple, half an onion, half a kiwi, and blend until completely smooth. If it's not blending smoothly, just add about quarter cup of water. Problem solved, right? Once everything is blended well, transfer it to a large mixing bowl. And then to that, add 1.5 cups of soy sauce, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of mirin, a quarter cup of corn syrup or honey, 3 tablespoons of sesame oil, 3 tablespoons of minced garlic, half a tablespoon of minced ginger, 1 cup of chopped green onions, 1.5 cups of water, and give it a good mix. That's it. I know it seems like a lot of ingredients, but if you've got a few basic Asian pantry staples, it's actually super simple. So please give this a try. You won't regret it. Alright, let's marinate our short ribs that have been chilling on a sunbed. In a large container, pour in 2 to 3 ladles of the marinade. And then lay down 2 to 3 strips of ribs on the bottom. Ladle more marinade over the top and then add another layer of ribs. And just keep repeating with the remaining marinade and ribs. That's it! Super simple, right? Now all you need to do is close the lid and let it marinate in the fridge for at least 2 hours or overnight. It will taste better tomorrow, but Claire says she's starving. Well, what can I say? I gotta follow the boss. Happy wife, happy life. So I'll be back in 2 hours. Alright, it's been 2 hours. Let's check on our Galbi. How does it look? Even with just 2 hours, the marinade did a fantastic job, right? For information, the best way to cook this bad boy is definitely with a charcoal grill. But as you can see, I live in an apartment. So today, we're gonna pan fry it instead. Alright, enough talking. Let's get cooking. In a large cold pan, place 3 to 4 strips of kalbi and pour over a quarter cup of the marinade and place them over medium-high heat. Now, we're just gonna cook for about 6 to 7 minutes or until you get some beautiful char all around. Here, make sure to flip them frequently, otherwise they might burn before they are cooked through. Now, some of you might say, Aaron, what the heck are you doing? If you cook it like that, it's gonna steam, not sear. Yes, you're absolutely right. But here's the thing. This fruity marinade burns really easily. If you throw the galbi straight onto a hot pan, the marinade will burn in a few seconds, and you will end up with a plate full of charcoal. This is the reason why we're going with this braising-like method. I totally respect your preferences, but let's be honest. You're not trying to eat this marinated meat rare, right? So just trust me and give this a try. And don't worry about overcooking. Thanks to the flanken cut and our amazing marinade, the meat will still come out incredibly tender and juicy. And for information, if your galbi has been marinating for a while, it can be a little too salty. In that case, instead of adding a quarter cup of the marinade, just use a quarter cup of water when cooking. That way, you will still get those perfectly marinated ribs that you're looking for. What? You wanna know this kind of tip more and more? I'm so glad you brought that up because everything you need is in these 2 books. Trust me, with these bad boys, Simply Korean and Beyond Korean, you can cook 200 East Asian dishes like Korean, Chinese, Japanese, and even Korean fusion dishes like a pro. So don't forget to check them out. The link is in the description. Alright, looks like it's done. It looks absolutely fantastic, right? You could just serve it as is, but let's make it a little more special. Get yourself a large pan and lightly coat it with some oil. Add some sliced onion and cook it over low heat until you hear a nice sizzle or it reaches your desired doneness. Trust me, this humble pile of onions is gonna be the perfect garnish and take your plating to the next level. While those onions are gently cooking, let's slice up our beautifully cooked galbi. Normally, you can simply cut them with scissors as you cook, but since we're filming today, I'm gonna slice them up with a knife beautifully. How does it look? Doesn't it make you insanely hungry? Now, all you need to do is place the ribs right on top of the onions. And as always, let's finish it off with some green onions and sesame seeds. How does it look? Looks absolutely amazing, right? You wanna know how it tastes? Alright, let's go to our taste tester.
Claire.
냄새 미쳤다 진짜. 너무 좋네. 응? 아까 우리 밑에 집에서 라면을 끓였는지 냄새가 아주 솔솔 너무 맛있는 냄새가 솔솔 올라왔는데 자기가 LA 갈비로 복수를 한 것 같다. As always, it looks super delicious. Let's give it a try. 이렇게 가져와서 진짜 맛있어 보인다. 위에 깨랑 파가 약간의 그 어두칙칙한 느낌의 LA 갈비 색감을 확 살려주네. Guys, as a pro tip, to fully enjoy this LA 갈비, you need to wash your hands. Why? Because you gotta use your fingers. Oh my god, looks super delicious. Cheers! 너무 맛있어. 메리네이드가 잘 돼서 되게 부드럽게 샥 발라지는 게 맛있습니다. 그리고 간장의 그 짭조름함이랑 약간의 그 과일들, 여러 가지 과일들에서 오는 단맛이 되게 자연스럽게 잘 녹아져 있어서 sweet and savory가 정말 균형 있게 너무 맛있게 잘 스며든 그런 맛이에요. 오랜만에 먹으니까 더 맛있네. 이렇게 또 한번 먹어봅시다. 밥 한 숟갈 딱 먹고 더 맛있잖아. 이 LA 갈비 먹을 때는 마지막에 이 부분을 이게 스르륵 돌려서 먹는 그 맛이 제일 재밌는 것 같아. 그 맛이 난 너무 좋아. 약간 질기다고 생각할 수도 있는데 그게 매력이야. 쫄깃쫄깃 거리면서 딱 뜯어졌을 때 그 쾌감, 만족감. 아마 경험해 본 사람만 아는 그 만족감. You guys have to try to feel it. LA 갈비가 사람들 초대해놓고 딱 대접하기 정말 좋은 음식인 게 손님들 오기 하루 전날에 딱 재워놓은 다음에 그 다음날 바쁘지 않게 손님들 오기 전에 그냥 딱 냉장고에다 꺼내가지고 조리만 하면 싹 대접할 수 있으니까 너무 좋은 음식인 것 같아요. I highly recommend for your barbecue season. Trust me, you're gonna love it so much. Hope you guys try. Enjoy!
Today we made LA Kalbi, one of the most beloved Korean barbecue dishes of all time. How was it? Sure, it takes a few ingredients and a bit of time, but it's not difficult at all, right? And the flavor? Absolutely amazing. So before summer slips away, please give this a try. If you do, I'm pretty sure it'll become one of the best memories of this summer. Alright, this is it for today, and I'll see you next time.